Okay, I'm not on. Jennifer is. Whoop, sorry there. Am I on your screen big or? Okay, good. All right, this is Lynn. I'm Lynn. Welcome to our Health for Life call. And tonight we're going to talk about some different ideas and events that have been successful and fun. And you're welcome to take these ideas, make them your own, change them, tweak them, do exactly as our friends have done. But we just want to have some fun here and let you know the fun we're having. And first up, we have Jennifer Harrell.
All right, thank you, Lynn. Tonight, I just wanted to revisit an oldie but a goodie. It's one that we've talked about in the past quite a bit, but I personally have not heard many people talk about it here recently, and it's the Taste of the Shred. And especially right now during the summer and in the late spring and maybe even into the fall, I think it'd be really a good idea to try to maybe rethink that and consider having a Taste of the Shred. I had one back in February, and I had 3 other ladies help me, and it was really a very good experience. It was the first one I'd done, and the idea behind it is that you have the opportunity to bring a group of people together who all want to learn about the shred, and you give them the opportunity to have a hands-on experience and a good taste testing experience to learn about the shred prior to them actually maybe committing to doing something. And I do have a slide of what some of my information looked like. Oh goodness, of course my pictures are all covered up by you guys' pictures. Might not be able to do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it because I can't reach my picture. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was just we did Christy helped me with a real simple little invitation that could be emailed, texted. You could even have printed it and mailed it if you wanted to. And then I created a Facebook event, just really more for the invitation purposes. And one of our teammates had access to a lunchroom at a middle school. And so we all got together there, and Christy knew someone who also did exercise classes. She was a trainer. And so this lady came, and she, for the first 35 minutes, worked with us. We did some cardio. We did some horrific ab workouts, and it was great, but it was a good example of what would be expected if you're trying to get 20 to 30 minutes in every day of some exercise. And then we sat down and discussed the parts of the shred and why it's so important to try to eliminate some certain things from your diet, if not 10 days, maybe even longer, and discuss that a little bit, and then introduce the Juice Plus products. And then we had a side table set up where people could come once that was over, and we taste tested smoothies, and we had complete bars that were cut up for bite-sized purposes. And then several people had made a couple of snack items from the shred book, and then a couple of side items that were a little bit heavier for people to taste test. And we also had the cookbook there for them to actually look through, and we had copies of all the recipes so everybody could take a copy of those home with them. And then of course we had water, and then we had all of that. We did have gummy samples, and it just gave everybody an opportunity. And majority of the time we stood around the food, just like we would at a shower or a party. We stood around the food and chit-chatted about the shred. And it was just a really great environment that was a little more intimate. I felt like it kind of was like a Bible study, the way ours ended up being, because it was around a table. We talked about this, we talked about that, and that exercise broke the ice, and we all knew each other by that point. And it just made everybody a little bit more comfortable. But it was a great experience. I'd love to do it again. The biggest thing is if you know you're going to have a whole lot of people, you need to try to make sure that you've got adequate help, because it can, depending on how much you're planning, it can be overwhelming. So if you've, like our group, we had 4 people, and that was sufficient for what we needed. But if you're planning to have 10 to 15, 20 people, and it's just one person, that could be a lot. So one person could handle 8, but if you're planning to do a whole lot, try to maybe pair it with somebody, or maybe 2 or 3 people. But I encourage everybody to revisit it, because it's a really great event.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Lee Leitner is going to give us some ideas next.
Hey, everybody. Hi. I'm going to give you an idea that you can either call a family event, or you could call back to school event. I did this last year around the June timeframe, and I'm going to do it again this year with a new distributor. And it's because this group of people that we're inviting have children going off to college. So what we're going to do is, I should have thought of this ahead of time. I did send it out on the Voxer, but there is a great video out there, and I can repost it somewhere if you want. It's called Rewind the Future. And it's only like a 2-minute video if you've never watched it. And it starts with a young man being wheeled into the ER, and he's having a heart attack. And the doctor's comment is, how did this happen? So they take you back to when he was an infant, and it's all about what he was eating improperly, no exercise, what have you. But that kind of gets that parent's mindset into, oh my goodness, this is real world. This could happen if we don't help our children now. So it gets everybody in the mindset of, it's a little gloomy at first, and so then you kind of say, well, this is real world. We do have a health crisis, and you can see that from that. But there is hope, and there is a way. And then I love to next show what I call the encouraging video, and that is our Take Healthy Back. The reason I like these 2 videos is in neither one of them, they talk about Juice Plus. So you're looking at, okay, this is real world if you don't eat right. Secondly, well, there is a solution. And then after that, I tell them I'm going to have some people share. It's good if you can do this event with other distributors. It's a little hard for me, but I think I might have 2 or 3 distributors. Then I like to have them tell their story. If it was just me, or I don't have a customer there, then my story is the only story being heard, and it's nice to have other stories. The mom that's going to host this one is going to tell her story, so that's going to be beneficial. And then after they're telling their stories, we then let them have samples. So then they're going to taste the smoothie, they're going to taste the soft chewables, and then we talk about if you're going to send your child off to the college that you work so hard to get into, maybe you're getting their rooms all set up, you're doing all these things for them to go away to school. Don't forget about their nutrition, because you're not going to be there to help them. So I kind of like that event, and this is a good time frame to do this one. I don't always do a salad in a jar, but I like to do a salad in a jar now because the Tower Garden looks so great. Mm-hmm. So if you do have a Tower Garden, I'm the only one here. I'm the only distributor here that does have a Tower Garden. So we usually do the salad in a jar at my house, so I can be taking something off the Tower Garden, and then they can see that. So then that covers that. Then there was another event. Brian Rose is one of the gentlemen that created this Freedom Revolution website. He's kind of been the spearhead behind all of that. I had seen that he had posted something called, they had a potluck dinner. And so I asked him, Brian, how did you do this? And I'll just read you his response, since I have not done it, but this is something I'd like to see if I could find a common place to do it. Here in Bluffton, not at my house, like maybe my church or a community room or something like that. But he said, we all had our food that, they put it out like a buffet style. He said there were 3 people that shared their Juice Plus story. One person shared their business story. Then they had a display table, but they only really referenced the Shred 10 cookbook. And then everybody got a research summary sheet. And he said, so basically we just did it very low key. He said there were several distributors there, so each distributor invited people, and then that distributor answered any questions kind of there informally as well. They didn't show any videos. Nobody in particular, stood up and talked. They just shared stories. So I think that might be a fun summer event too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Mary Lee. Okay, Latoya, we'll let you go up, Latoya. You have to unmute. There you go.
Okay. So I did my first vendor event at Real Subs, which is a local restaurant here in Smyrna, and they are organic, all natural. And so he began a program called Wellness Wednesdays, and he advertised that on Facebook. And so Tiffany and I reached out to him and wanted to become a vendor. And so it was a free event. You just had to sign up and basically you were approved. He actually it was very popular because when we first saw it, I think it was in March. And by the time we finally hashed everything out, we didn't get to be on his calendar until the end of May. So it is wildly popular here, which leads me to believe that other restaurants probably will be implementing it soon as well. What I loved about it was free. It was a 6-hour window. So you go to the restaurant, which is not far from my house. And so you were given a 6-foot table. And he had a banner that says Wellness Wednesdays, and then you're able to put whatever you like on this table. And so while his restaurant is kind of set intimately, he does get a lot of foot traffic because he is in the shopping center with a Sprouts. And so it is very popular. We did have a display of Juice Plus. We kind of used some information. We used the Shred 10 cookbooks. We had flyers out, and then I also used the vendor, the vendor, like the little vendor cards that you get from Mission Driven Model. So that was very helpful because basically everything we needed was on that website. So it is definitely great to have when you do vendor tables. And then so me and Tiffany just kind of thought outside of the box, and I'm going to try to share my screen with you all. Bear with me. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. So.
Okay.
So I keep empty bottles of all of my Juice Plus products just so that if I was ever to do a vendor table, I could have it. And so those are all empty bottles. And I guess one of the things that I would recommend is to definitely probably have some that actually have capsules in them, because some of the people that visited the table wanted to actually see what they look like. So that would be helpful to have that. And we did have also the gummies and the family health study there as well. And then we also had a raffle item. So when people actually filled out the postcard, they were able to enter into a raffle. And I'm going to try to see if I can find a bigger picture. And that's Tiffany. So it was actually good to have another person there with me so that if someone came to the table as well, then we could both be talking to someone. And so that way people didn't just have to look around by themselves. So I think when you're doing a vendor table, no matter if it's free or not, two is always better than one. Let me see. And I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna try. So this was our raffle. And so It was just an empty, complete box with 2 shakers in it with some samples of the gummies, and then our little cute neighborhood veggie dealer bags that we got from Severin at conference. And then we put the individual complete packets in some silver like cellophane bags just to kind of make it look pretty. And then I also bought like risers, like little empty baskets that I just turned over just to create some elevation. So not to make it so boring looking. Let's see, I think I have one more picture of the whole table. And then we also had pictures of the Tower Garden, since I didn't want to bring my Tower Garden with me. So it made it easy, especially because the space was tight. So I had already been at this restaurant before, so I knew the spacing. So I would definitely recommend, if you've never been to the restaurant, to check it out before you go there so that you could definitely see. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. I'm not sure if I stop. Can you see my face? I see. Yeah. Okay. I see Lynn's face, but it's okay. So what I liked about it was that it was marketed on his Facebook and his Instagram accounts. And so that gave Juice Plus exposure. And he also put up signage on the front of his door at the restaurant, so people were able to see it as they visited. So it was also great for making business connections. That's an area that I probably will not get into, owning a restaurant. I just don't see that for myself. But it is good to partner with a restaurant owner, because I'm sure that he knows other restaurant owners as well. And he's also opening up another location in this area. So, and he did want to purchase a Tower Garden for that location. So it was definitely worth the investment, especially because it was free. Pretty much it just was me and Tiffany's time. And so it definitely paid us back. And we got really cute shirts. I forgot that part, from Melissa. So that is actually my go-to shirt now when I go to places to network. So I love that shirt. We also, I mentioned the raffle, but we did have a game, and I got the game from conference. And we actually had a woman and her son come up, and while she ordered, we were playing the game with her son. So it actually gave her time to actually be able to order without having to tend to him. And then we were able to talk with her afterwards. So that was definitely good. And I know going forward, when we do other events, we'll definitely incorporate that, because it is good to capture the children, because when you capture the children, the parents usually follow.
Okay, well, thank you. Now, Melissa.
All righty. So I'm going to share with you an event we did called Shake It Off. It was Zumba and smoothies. So Danny and I hosted this event together, and we hosted it at the church. And I just wanted to show you the Facebook invite. What I've learned through Facebook, first of all, I love events. I could do an event every single week because I love to throw a party. So that is fun and easy for me. It goes with my personality. But the event, if you create it to be public, then it goes out onto Facebook and to the world. You can actually add in little key context, like keywords basically. So you could put in fitness or health or healthy or some kind of tag that when people are looking for events in their area, they can search certain keywords and it'll pull whatever event's going on. So if you're doing something at your private house, that's up to you if you want to do it that way. But definitely if you're doing an ad in a like our church or some other location, that's a great idea. So this is our Shake It Off event. We hired a Zumba instructor from my gym. and she was only $30. So we charged everybody $5 if they had it. If they didn't, then that was fine too. Just come, and then Danny and I would cover it. But everybody ended up pitching in $5, and we were able to pay the instructor. But she came, and she brought her own. She's so much fun. She brought her own lights and had her own little boombox thing, and it was so much fun. These are the ladies that came, and we had a display behind here. They grabbed some products. A display back there with just the products. We did not talk about the shred or anything. We just simply set out some smoothie recipes, samples, after we got done working out. And we did a full hour class. So that was the focus. They can see it over there next to them. And when they went and grabbed their waters, they could see all of the products. And then, we would go over, grab a sample, and then it would just open up conversations. And then Danny and I followed up with them afterward. So when they came in to pay their $5, Danny actually had a little table sitting there, and they signed in. So they put their information, their phone number, and their email on there. So some people brought friends. Some people we already knew. Some of them were customers, and some of them family. And some of them are now a distributor. So it worked out really awesome. And somebody brought these little, whatever those things are called. It was so much fun. There's a little example of what that looked like. So that gives an example of what it could look like. It doesn't have to be fancy. You see, this is the student center. Who cares? We just scooted everything back, threw on some music, our little shaker things, and danced. So it was a lot of fun, and people loved it. So really, that's just a real simple event. Like Severin always says, the fortune is in the follow-up. So afterward, it's really important to follow up with everybody. Hey, what did you think about the event? Wasn't that fun? I can't wait to do it again. And, and just go from there. What did you think about the smoothies? Is this something that maybe your kids want to get involved in? So it gives you a reason to have conversation. And then throughout, when we started the event, I think we posted it about 2 weeks out. Oh yeah, there's me giving a little example of what that could look like. But we just posted different things to kind of spark excitement within the event. So if it's public, it's just going to pop up in people's timelines. So it works really, really well. And really quick, I want to show you this other real fast. We also did, can you see that? Okay. We did a taste of Henry, actually. So it's our local city or county, and they do this huge tasting event of all of these vendors, and they pay a fee to get in, and they come around and just taste all of different things. And the lady who hosts this actually goes to our church, and so she gave us an opportunity to come in, and this was free to us. And so we set up this table, and we had little bite-sized energy balls to taste, and we did a lot of what LaToya did with setting our stuff out. We did a raffle. Danny actually brought the Tower Garden and her cute little baby bump, her little Juice Plus baby. Her shirt says Juice Plus baby on board. And this is the back, plant-based mama. So it turned out really good. We had lots of contacts. We just stood there and talked to people over and over again. Hey, you want to try these energy balls? They're amazing. Oh my gosh, what's in them? And then it just started the conversation. Would you like to sign up for the raffle? We handed them the paperwork. They filled out the raffle. And actually on Mission Driven, there's an event section, and it gives you a form that is printable. So you can have it on there, and they can circle the different things that they're interested in, so you'll know how to follow up with them. So it was very, very fun and successful. And again, fortune is in the follow-up. That's hard. Hit it while the momentum is there. Follow up with them right away. I did not do that. I lost momentum, and I will not do that again. And never, never, never cancel an event. I learned that as well, even if only one person shows up. I did that one time, canceled an event because I'm like, well, nobody's coming, blah, blah, blah. I got discouraged, canceled it, and somebody calls and is like, oh, what happened to that Pilates event? And so I was like, oh. So yeah, never cancel an event, because even if one person came, that's an amazing conversation that you could have with them. That's all I have.
Okay, well, thank you. Anybody have any questions or anything?
I have a question.
Okay.
Latoya, you mentioned, since I wasn't at conference, you mentioned a game.
Yes. I didn't want to get off camera while I was talking, but.
Okay. And you also mentioned that you get your t-shirt from Melissa. What does that mean, Melissa? Do you have fun t-shirts we need to see?
I do. I make custom t-shirts. So anything y'all come up with, we can make them. Like I have the blessed shirt behind me.
Ah, okay. Now I know.
Yep.
So this is the game. It's called the Juice Plus Memory Game. So it just has different fruits on it, and it's just matching. So.
Okay. I'll go online and look for that. Okay.
Yes. They had them at the store, at the promo store. I think it was like $4.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we've got some ideas. Appreciate all the input. And
I have another question. It wasn't about what anyone talked about tonight, but I was leaving our fitness center today, and there was a young swim coach, and I saw him giving lessons to kids, and I waited till he had a break, and I was telling him about the soft chewables, and he said, well, you could come by. I'm here all week. You could come by any morning and you know, talk to the parents or bring out samples. And I was wondering, what would you ladies choose as a handout to leave with the mom?
mm-hmm. You know, somebody may have a better idea, but on the and maybe it's the mission-driven model. There's one of our websites has the thing for children. Start Strong or whatever.
Yeah, that's on the Freedom Revolution. Okay.
Okay.
I have a little half-page sheet that I can send you, Mary Lee, that we've used at children's schools when we didn't want to do a lot of color printing, and it basically mentions so you can do two to a page. It mentions the Children's Health Study and free product for the child, but I think there's like 4 benefits of adding, you know, Juice Plus or something. It's really simple, and you just add your name at the bottom with your website and your email. And I'll be happy to send that to you.
That'd be great.
Well, maybe post that somewhere, Severin.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah.
Health for Life or
Oh yeah, we can put it on Health for Life. Absolutely.
probably the best option.
Yeah, because I'll place the recording out there tomorrow too.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn the recording off real quick, and then we're going to be able to say thank you to Lynn for organizing our event tonight.